So going into day 2, we are currently sitting in 5th place. It was a good workout yesterday. It didn't pan out judging wise, but we're really happy with the performance. So we're going to take that momentum into day 2 and put up some good results and bring the heat for this upcoming 2 events.
How did you think yesterday went?
Yesterday went really good for us, minus some judging errors and stuff, but overall we did really well together in the workout.
You guys are currently sitting 5th?
Yes.
What's the plan of attack for today?
We're going to start out with some heavy lifting. The goal is to do really well in that to kind of bump us up. And then we've got 2 events after that. That should be good for us. So the goal today is just to move ourselves back up into the spot that we should be in.
Are you concerned at all that you're sitting in 5th? Because I know that's lower than you expected to be.
No, it's just one event. And today, the first event, the lifting is scored as 2 separate events because the guys go and then Maddie and I will go. So there's a lot of points today, and then we have 3 more events tomorrow. So there's still a lot left. We did 1 workout.
Hey.
So we meet again.
We do meet again. We're here.
Where are you guys sitting at the moment?
We're in 8th.
Is Invictus beating you again?
Where are they sitting?
5th?
Yeah.
Why do we keep beating like this, Jen?
Look, I don't know.
We might as well have just rolled dice for places in the last one.
What do you mean?
That's all I'll say.
Maddie, are you trying to hit them with the bar?
Yeah, I was trying to just kind of take out the other teams one by one.
Maddie doesn't have to worry about me for this event. Gosh, I could go in perfectly healthy and everything would be fine for you guys.
You got a bad wrist.
I got a bad wrist.
I mean, I'm planning on clean and jerking 275. I don't know what you're going to hit, but...
That's to make up for my 150 snatch.
My max front squat, 245. Maddie's going to be shaking.
Hey, Jen, what happened to you guys yesterday? Last I saw was you were getting no rep 20 times.
Yeah.
Jen, how long
Apparently, we just have constantly bent knees.
funny thing I've ever heard.
I don't know.
Jen, move your toes out. They tried doing their worms like this because they were getting in trouble like us.
Yeah.
So they did this, but then they got in trouble for their knees.
Wow.
Such a lose-lose.
If I hit 325, I'm going 340. I'm not going 335. You guys are fighting with that
How did yesterday turn out for you?
It went pretty well. It was our first event together with this group as a team. We took 5th. We had a lot of no reps that kind of, we get 5 or 6 of those back and we took 2nd. So it's kind of one of those things. I'm happy. I mean, as a competitor, you always want to take 1st in every event, but if we can stay consistent, top 5 finishes on every event throughout the weekend, we're going to be in a good spot.
What's the plan for today?
Try not to let the girls lift more than me. Just kidding.
Well, we know. Girls lift more than you? How do you think yesterday went?
I think it went okay. I think what was in our control, we did really well as a team, and I think everything that didn't go well wasn't in our control. So.
But overall, are you happy with it, or are you slightly disappointed that you're sitting in 5th? What's the 5th feel like?
I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay. It'll just give us good motivation to do better today. Besides, I prefer to start a little low and inch up instead of start high. It's hard to stay at the top, so.
Fair enough. Today should be a strong event for you.
Yeah.
What are you actually hoping to get?
I think 245 was going to be a good second lift, and then 250, 255. I honestly have not been I haven't been lifting in months, so.
How is your wrist? Because you've had a surgery on it recently, right?
Yeah. It's a little touch and go sometimes. But we're gonna double wrap it. That's the secret. And Advil this morning.
Gina, what are you expecting for them out of this first event?
I expect the girls to win the event on the girls' side, and I expect the guys to put up the best numbers that they've put up in the last couple of years.
Are you being serious about that, or?
Well, yeah, because I'm talking about the last 2 years of games for the guys. But I do expect the girls to win, the girls' side of it.
What numbers do you think that the girls need to hit?
I think Chantel needs to hit at least 195, and Maddie needs to hit around about 245 to 250. I think that'll win the event for them.
And what about the men?
The men, I would really like to see Sam hit 275, and then Holden anywhere above 325. I think he's capable of hitting 340.
If you're talking about qualifying, there's only 2 teams that I think can qualify: Invictus X and Misfit. I expect that they'll be pretty close come to the end of the weekend, but I don't think anyone else can challenge them.
You started day 2.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts after yesterday?
Neither one of those teams got off to the start they'd like last night. I know it was a lot of no reps. There was some stuff that slowed both teams down, but I think the events are favorable for both today. Got the heavy lift early on. We know that Sam can put up big numbers. Chantel, I think, is looking stronger and stronger every time I've seen her, and obviously the addition of Maddie to the team from a weightlifting aspect, that's going to be huge. So I'd expect them to do really well this morning.
So,
Would you say your most favorite thing about coming to these events is waiting in these corrals?
yes. Because we already all have to go to the bathroom, and then we stand in here for 10 minutes, and it makes it that much worse. So, they're
You
my
guys look
favorite.
like
I love
cattle
them.
back here.
I know. I wish they had provided us with some grass to graze on or something.
I just said you guys look like cattle back here.
I feel like cattle.
You're not talking about our weight, right?
No, I was absolutely talking about your weight.
Yeah, all right, yeah. I've been bulking. It's bulking season.
Yeah, same.
Invictus X. 255.
Yeah, that was an awesome event. Snatch, clean, jerk, 1 rep maxes. Guys did really well. Sam looked really good. He hit 75, very smooth. And then he went for 285 twice. Had it, stuck it overhead, and then ended up falling out of it. So Holden hit 335, which is his PR. I was really happy with their scores. And then Chantel ended up snatching 195 in the final 30 seconds. Maddie rushed to put 255 on. She hit that, so the girls won the event with a total score of 450. With Chantel hitting 195 and Maddie hitting 255. But those final 30 seconds were really fun to watch.
Oh, well, I hit my last lift at 255, but it was more exciting because I had like 10 seconds to do the entire lift. So it was we changed the plates, I almost broke Chantel's foot, and then it was like a grip and rip. I think we did a good job for like the two biggest airheads on Team Invictus for weight. We pulled it together.
Yeah, the second event is a brutal one. Dumbbell box step overs and chest bar pull-ups with a weighted vest is not something anyone wants to see. And then later on, the event's called Tremors. And if you can just imagine the misery involved. However, I just think the weekend in the whole is going to favor the experienced team. This is an event that thrives on team programming. They've never had individual stuff in the past. It's really well programmed. There's a blend of stuff from worm to relay. You have to work together well, and that's why I think Invictus X is the team to beat this weekend.
Second place. Hey Jen, do you know this is not your team?
I'm just getting their strategy.
Right. How did that last event go?
Really well. Our girls crushed it. Holden hit a 5-pound PR. I hit my 275.
I saw you speaking to Chantel before she made her last lift. You whispered something in her ear, like, what did you say?
I don't know, just probably giving her a little recap of what she did. Like, she was like progressively dialing herself in. Like, one time she was just way too fast. One time she pulled way too hard, it like dropped behind her. And I was just like, hey man, you put it all together, like just make it happen here.
He told me to use my strong gymnastics arm.
Yeah, use your strong gymnastics arm. Punch up.
Is that what he told you?
Yeah, because I dropped it behind me and he goes, it was over your head. He goes, you were way too strong for it.
In Dubai, we talked about momentum, like when things don't go according to plan. Like, do you feel right now that things are going according to plan despite what took place yesterday with the bad judging?
Yeah, that happened to everybody. So like, if we were the only people out there that were getting destroyed like that, it would be a little bit more difficult to manage the momentum swing in the, to the side that you don't want it to go to. But everybody experienced it, so it didn't really matter.
How is the team gelling together so far?
Really well. It's going really, really good. Like, Maddie's been super chill, and like historically, she'd kind of freak out if things didn't go according to plan. And she's maturing and being able to compose herself, and it's really cool to watch.
Freaking killed it. They came from behind. I think we ended up winning our heat, maybe the event. They made up a lot of ground. That's all I can say. They got off the chest bar. They did really well. They were smart, and they didn't go super big out of the gate, and they made a huge comeback on the chest bars. I think they started like 15 reps behind and came off only 5 behind, so they caught up by 10 reps there. And they were only like one or 2 reps behind the Misfit and the Balance team coming off of the chest bar, and then they just shut their brains off, and Maddie and I were screaming at them that the other teams were resting between reps. We said, if you guys just go a consistent pace, you guys are going to catch them and beat them.
And I saw you, you were just screaming at the top of your lungs. What were you saying to them then?
I was just yelling that if you guys keep moving, you're going to pass them. They're resting. Basically just tell them to suck it and go.
Yeah, the finish, right? Like, what a wild finish. It's so cool to get something like that. And
because they were pretty far ahead of you, like Misfit and another team was as well.
Yeah, for sure. There were and we saw that too. And we just kind of stayed with what we knew we could maintain. And then towards the end of the workout, like the last 90 seconds of the workout, Holden and Maddie are just losing their and just yelling and just
I saw him screaming.
You gotta go. They're stopping, they're resting. Like, you gotta go. Don't stop moving. Chantel is just like, She's like this big old like, you know, warrior cry, and she just dug in deep, dude, and because of that last 90 seconds, and usually when people yell like that, it doesn't work for me. It throws me off, but there I was feeding off of it, she was feeding off of it, and we just hung on, we went hard for 90 seconds, and because of that, we were able to take the heat.
What's up, man?
Mike Richards.
How are you?
Excellent, Mr. Richards.
How's Invictus doing?
How are we doing? You tell me.
I think they're doing great. There's 2 teams, 2 Invictus teams, but the big dogs, Invictus X, I saw lifting some heavy weights. The girls were very impressive. I think everybody's feeling the worm from yesterday, but today a little bit of fun stuff earlier on the platforms. Of course, that's where a couple of your athletes shine. And then right now we're just gonna deplete them on the gas tank, man.
I think this event is extremely important. We're currently in first. Just told these guys, we need to kind of step on their throats, right? The other teams are far enough behind right now that if we get one more really good event behind us, it'll make tomorrow look very different. It'll give us a lot more comfort going into tomorrow, and it'll give us a buffer.
Is there something you're worried about a workout tomorrow, or?
Nothing that we're worried about. It's just psychologically, if you can go into day 3 with a really large lead, it's a lot harder for those teams. If we give up ground in this final workout, they come into that day with a little more momentum. So I'd like to see these guys just give everything they have on this workout. They'll regenerate overnight and be ready to go tomorrow. But if we can give ourselves a big buffer going into tomorrow, I think everybody's going to feel a lot more confident.
It's been a few hours since they went for event 2 or event 3, whatever you want, the last event. Is there as a coach, is there a fear that they can get a little bit complacent? That they know they're in the lead.
Yeah.
Is there something you have to stay on top of and tell them hey guys, don't F up?
I think that was the conversation we had, where this is a step on the throat workout, which is you cannot let down right now. You have to push everything, because now if you do, then tomorrow we can maybe be a little more conservative with some of our strategies and know that we'll hold on.
I think this is a really important workout, solely because it puts them in a really strong position going into tomorrow. This workout, the last workout was more challenging for them, but now they get to play with stuff that they're good at, and I think they need to take advantage of it. And I think if they take advantage today, then it sets themselves up for a really good day tomorrow.
But with somebody like Chantel and even Sam, they're very much, and I guess even Maddie Myers, a lot of their, it's not about the fitness, it's a lot about the mental game. Would you say that's correct?
I mean, athletes in general ride waves. If you're competing well and you're feeling good, then you're going to perform well. And it's always helpful to be winning and always helpful to be out in front. And these guys need to ride that wave and make sure they perform in the next workout. And all these guys are experienced enough, whether that's been on a team or been as an individual or competing in a completely different sport, they understand how important that is.
Want to get the Invictus blog? We're getting in the Invictus blog? Yeah, check it out, subscribe.
What's your team name?
What are we doing tonight? Sleep?
Friendly Manitoba.
Friendly
Friendly Manitoba.
Where are you guys from? Where is that?
Canada.
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Where is it? Canada. You guys all came from Canada for this?
All the way out.
How are you guys doing?
We don't have sanctionals yet.
Yeah, we gotta move around to
find
get to a
them.
sanctional.
Where are you guys ranked at the moment?
No idea.
We're not sure.
We were 28th going into that event, and hopefully that'll bump us up a bit, keep us in the second heat. So.
Yeah, lifting event didn't go amazing for us, but then I think we all got a little fired up the event after we did pretty well.
Bonnie and Clyde,
we were
fucking loved that. Yeah.
So wait, did you guys just come here to have fun, or did you guys come here to actually compete?
Both.
Yeah.
We have fun
while competing. On the leaderboard?
We do.
Well,
I don't know about after that.
Right?
Okay, 28th. You want all our scores? First, wait, I don't know what the first one. What was the first one? 25th in the first. The Oli event, us girls got 32.
32nd.
These guys
38th.
Bonnie and Clyde. We got 5th. 5th on Bonnie and Clyde. And then
We don't know.
We don't know.
Okay.
We did okay.
Yeah, we have no idea.
I'm guessing you control most of the team dynamics, right?
This
the
is
cap.
Captain King right here.
Oh, we couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. I just,
Really? I don't know.
what's the gym's Instagram handle?
Oh wow,
here
we
we
got
go.
we're three
So
gyms.
we actually-
We're
we
a
actually
super,
split between
we
three
call ourselves a
gyms.
super team.
Oh, so
Cross-
wait, you all don't train at the same affiliate?
So-
we train
At
at
Undefeated CrossFit.
Yeah, undefeated CrossFit.
At Start CrossFit.
Are you guys a couple?
No.
Are you guys a
They're
couple?
not
No.
The way you just hugged there, it looked like you guys were a couple.
Oh shit! No, we both have significant others whom we love
wow.
dearly. I love him like he's my brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm from CrossFit Octus.
From where?
CrossFit Octus. Okay?
Where's that?
It's in Winnipeg, but it's like far end.
Her gym and my gym are a little closer, and then theirs is other end of town.
We just got together and
spread
made a
out.
team from Winnipeg kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
From
Yeah,
Manitoba,
hence the
right?
team.
We hadn't worked out together
So we have,
before.
Just for the Americans, this is a province in
Right.
Canada.
Well, guys, you guys kept up like the epitome of being the nice Canadians.
Oh,
Yeah.
We were trying to be really nice Canadians like the whole weekend.
Man, we're standing tall with our chest up. We have the last event of the day. We're excited about it. We're gonna go crush it, and hopefully just kind of put, that nail in the coffin a little bit. So put ourselves in a good position to stand on top of that podium tomorrow morning or afternoon. Yeah, it's a good workout for us, man. I think that worm is something we've worked really hard to flow really well with, and the rest of the stuff before it is just like some, a little get out of the way work. So we'll get that stuff out of the way and we'll go to business or get to work on the, what is that thing called? The worm, the sandbag.
That event, they finished fourth overall in the event. They haven't had any event placement worse than 6th yet, and they have a 20-point lead going into tomorrow. So I think they're doing all right.
Misfit came second in that event.
Yeah, so they gave up 10 points to Misfit there. They had a 30-point lead, now it's down to 20. It's still a cushion with 1 day to go.
Has Misfit qualified for the games yet?
They have not.
They're both in the running.
Yeah, the winner here will take the games in the invite. But between Misfit and Invictus X, the worst event finish that either of them's had is 8th, so they're always towards the top. So there's not a lot, if they're continuing to finish up there, 20 points is still, somewhat significant. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with what I said before. I still think it's leaning Invictus, but we'll find out tomorrow.